on the whole in order to motivate them to top sales performance. So it's always interesting to maybe know where and what people did with any of the awards that they ever won. Let's say that they won a quarterly sales award, or maybe they won an annual sales award through your company. The way that you can really find out whether or not you've got somebody who's driven by recognition is to find out where they actually have those trophies or those awards. And I have mine, for example, overlooking my desk, even though some of them occurred nearly 15 years ago. So recognition is certainly one of those things that certainly drives me from a personal standpoint. So if your sales rep has no idea where their 1996 President's Club trophy is, then this may not be their primary motivator. But recognition-driven sales reps are not insecure adolescents kind of always constantly seeking approval and recognition. Not at all. I mean, on the contrary. I mean, recognition merely validates their efforts that they've put forth and makes them feel the exhilaration of achievement in a public or maybe even sometimes private. And remember, in our 10 questions, we talk about how you like to be recognized. Do you like it public? Do you like it private? How do you like your praise, public or private? And it's very important to match that privacy or publicness, if that's a word, to this type of recognition in order to drive the salesperson to even greater sales heights. So this is on a scale of desire for all these motivations. You know, there's a 1 to 10 on here, and this one is really no different. So you've got a 1 on the very low end and a 10 on the very high end. I don't think anyone really hates recognition, so you're probably not going to have too many 1s. You might have some 2s or 3s, but on the high end you might have some 9 or 10s, people that just crave recognition at all times. And this is a fairly easy one to use to motivate as a sales manager. And the last one in the 7 forces of motivation is affiliation. And the belonging sales rep, the one that needs to be belonging to an affiliation or to a group, is motivated by the greater good. These are the ones who, maybe if you're in the medical industry, they're far more motivated by what they're doing for society. And this is a tremendous motivator for them. Maybe you're selling a medical device that helps elderly patients get hip replacement or knee replacement with recovery time that's 50% less than your competition. This would be something that would be tremendously motivating because they're doing something for the greater good of mankind. So this is something that you can use for these types of sales reps in order to motivate them. So this affiliation or this belonging or feeling that they're part of a whole to the greater good, maybe to the greatness of mankind, or in some cases, people love an affiliation towards a company or a company that they feel is doing good. One of the best companies that I ever worked for is a company that was a small startup, and I really felt like every day when I went out into the field, I really was contributing to the betterment of the company as well as myself. So it was a great combination of those two things. I felt like I was working pushing the stock price up every day with everything that I did, and I really felt like I was part of something great. So this connection to an organization or the company can be a really strong motivator if they feel that the mission of the organization is just, and if it's right and it's in alignment with their own values. So being a part of something greater than themselves and building upon it daily is what gets these salespeople out of bed in the morning. And although sometimes the greater good may be for the benefit of their customer as well, that's even better. You've got a happy customer and you've got the greater good. And if you can really tie in your company's mission or whatever your product is specifically to this type of salesperson, you really are going to have a very extremely winning combination from a sales motivation standpoint. So these reps oftentimes build relationships deep within your organization too. These are the ones that really forge relationships maybe with the marketing department, the operations department, and work things from the inside because they really feel that the better that they do for the organization, the better they're going to do for the greater good, and the better they will feel in aligning themselves and also for their desire for affiliation. So those are the 7 forces of motivation. Very quickly, we've gone into them here just to give you an idea as to what really does motivate your people from a core or a base level. Now, this is not just for salespeople, but we've done it in the way in which you look at your people as salespeople, but specifically, these are really the 7 forces of motivation for all human beings as well. So if you can tie these inherent motivations or these intrinsic motivations as to what really drives them at a base level with your leadership and motivational message, you're that much closer to producing a top performing sales team, and you're that much closer to driving your sales revenues towards your company's goals for your own personal betterment and the betterment of your salespeople as well. Now, in further shows, we're going to get a little bit more into the 7 forces of motivation and how we can use these 7 forces to drive people in certain techniques and tactics that we'll use in order to get them to where you need them to be, as well as a full questionnaire to uncover which of your salespeople are motivated by which of these 7 forces. Now, they're going to be motivated by all of them to one degree or another, but maybe 2 or 3 of them are far more relevant and far more prevalent than maybe the other 3 or 4. So that will be the goal of the questionnaire, which we'll talk about in further shows. Now, for hundreds of other sales management techniques and strategies, such as this one, you can find them in the Sales Management Mastery Academy, along with tons of done-for-you resources to help your sales managers achieve sales management success. To claim your free sales manager training inside the Sales Management Mastery Academy, including our most popular training of all time, How to Motivate Your Sales Team to Peak Performance, visit salestraininggift.com. That's it for this episode of Sales Management Mastery. Until next time, wishing you ultimate sales management success.
You've been listening to the sales management, motivational, and leadership training expert, Ralph Burns. Ralph invites you to discover the sales manager training secrets that will unleash a flood of new sales from your sales team. Visit salestraininggift.com and you'll get instant access to your choice of life-changing sales manager training techniques, only taught in the internationally acclaimed Sales Management Mastery Academy online community. Go now to salestraininggift.com. Sales Management Mastery.